I will say this will be nicer for me so I can spread out all my notes. Take up as much space as I want to.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing about D&D, especially if you're the DM. You will spread out and take up as much space as you're allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, I got pages and pages to look at. I got the loot pages, I got the quest pages, I got the notes pages, I got the character sheets. Gotta put a dice tray in there somewhere.
Right? Yeah, I had to go grab my little table that I have next to my recliners so that I would have someplace to put my dice tray and books. Yeah, it's been a while since I had to do it this way, so.
Yeah. Well, at least it's a novelty right now and not like super boring and sad. Now it's like, yay, we're doing something different.
Right.
Like,
well,
look at it that way.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not. I'm hoping that it really will be, over by the second. But
yeah,
I mean.
Well, motherfuckers are going to be hanging out with their families for Thanksgiving. They're going to be passing it all around again, and then we're all going to have Christmas taken away.
Right, because, yeah, and I mean, I'm already seeing that people stating exactly that. Well, I'm not going to give up my holiday. I'm going to go over to my parents' house. We're going to have like 10 to 40 people over there. And I'm like, you selfish motherfuckers. I mean,
yeah.
God
and
damn it.
And the reason why none of us can have time with our fucking families.
Right.
Sad.
The reason we can't have nice things.
Yeah. Yeah, it pisses me off.
How do I get into this call?
How do you get into the call? Chris has a link. Chris, could you email Liam the link if I text you his email address?
I believe I can do that. Hold on here. Sure, go ahead and send me his address.
Yeah, boo.
Yes.
Coordinates?
Yes.
Where did my sharing option? There it is.
No, I can't. Okay, go.
No, let me know all that now. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now. I just don't worry. Yeah,
Okay, it should be on its way. So Brady's here.
You do hear me?
I can barely hear you. You're very quiet.
Can you hear me better?
Hello?
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 Is this any better?
Yeah.
I've had to adjust the microphone settings myself instead of letting Skype
Yeah.
do it thing.
Yeah, whenever it says automatically that it'll automatically detect the settings, I'm like, will it really? I will say this, computers have gotten a little bit smarter about that, but even as good as my computer is, I still consider it to be a potato, so...
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, it feels like we haven't done this in forever, but it wasn't really that long ago.
Right. Yeah, it was like, I think like, I don't remember when it was.
I think it was June?
Or something like that. We were only in the store for like a couple months.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything from Anthony, so I don't know if he's going to make it or what. Hopefully he does. And I will make sure that this is working properly. Oh my god, it is working properly. Kind of. Okay. Anthony says he is having some difficulties and is going to be a little late. And Carl is having some technical difficulties as well. I mean, honestly, I would just use the built-in VoIP for Roll20, but it has major problems, and it only took a couple of times of that, and I was like, nope, never again, not going to do it.
Why don't we just go back to Discord if this doesn't work then?
Yeah, we could. I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, I personally hate Discord. It is a hacking nightmare. But if it works, then we'll just use it.
Sounds like it's working now.
There you are.
Yeah, I had to log out of Skype and sign on as a guest.
Interesting. Well, it's funny because it on my screen it shows you as you. So weird.
I typed in Carl as my guest name.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it's weird. So I use Skype all the time on my tablet, and when I went to log in on my PC, it's like, oh, we don't know who you are. Really? That's strange. And then earlier today, so XSplit came out. That's the broadcasting software I use. They came out with a new version, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and install that before we start tonight. And so I go to log in, and it's like, oh, well, you have two-factor authentication. Go ahead and put in the code from your third-party app. And I'm like, I never enabled that, and I don't have a third-party app. So I had to contact their support, and I'm like, you guys turned it on. I never did such a thing. I mean, not to mention that it would be stupid for me to do it because I run it on multiple computers. So
They're fishing for your cell phone number.
right. Well, luckily for me, they got to it right away. I mean, it was like 15 minutes, and they were like, okay, we went in and just went ahead and disabled it. And
Yeah, I went and tried to make sure it was all set up a couple hours ago, and my previous account is all based off of my work email address. So I typed all that stuff in, but it wanted to check to make sure that was still me or do something. And of course, I don't have work email anymore.
right.
I said, oh, well, no, I want to change. Here's my, it's still here's my new information. It goes, oh, great. This is a Microsoft account. I said, oh, great. It's all taken care of. You will be switched over in 2 weeks.
Oh, what?
So I'm going, okay, well, forget that.
Wow.
So I just signed up for Skype and have an account for Skype, and that Microsoft account can go just suck eggs.
Right.
Oh, Microsoft can suck it all. A whole bag of all of it.
Yeah,
All
Yes.
the eggs.
a bag of something, that's for sure.
Well, I am back, guys. Sorry for the delay. I had to go put dinner on the table. You know how it is, being a domestic human and all.
Ah, yes.
I mean,
But now I'm ready to be a hack.
All right.
Just descend to a lich.
Yes. There's always that option.
That is probably the most convincing argument to become a lich that I've heard in a long time.
Don't have to feed your family.
Well,
Yeah.
I've long ago transitioned to where I feed myself only, and it's microwave food or something I just pull straight out of the freezer,
Right.
like
Yep.
ice cream sandwiches or something.
Yeah, my wife has been trying to convince me that ice cream is perfectly suitable as a dinner food, and I haven't been able to bring myself to agree with that yet.
It has been for me. I take a 1-a-day vitamin, and then all I really need to worry about is to get enough calories.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not really one to talk. There's been plenty of times where I just drank beer for dinner.
There you go.
Yeah. Worked for the Egyptians. I don't know why, but Google keeps sending me notifications about Johnny Depp. I'm like, why would I care? I don't understand why you think this is important news for me. I don't. The fuck? I mean, at no point ever have I experience or have I, shown interest in Johnny Depp. I don't know why Google keeps sending me this crap.
Yeah, it's part of an experiment to see how much they can force on people.
Well, the funny thing is, it goes to my tablet, but not to my phone. They're both the same account, so I don't. And then, earlier today, I opened up the Messenger app on my tablet, and evidently, whoever had the phone number for my messenger or for my tablet before me was named Linda. And so I know this because there's all these text messages from random people. Hey, Linda, did you know? And it's like going on and on about shit. I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Are you sure you don't, Linda?
Yeah. Hey, Linda. Hey, Linda. Hey, Linda.
You just need to reply back and go, that's fascinating. Sign me up for everything.
Yeah, but the problem is it'll all come to me because I evidently have Linda's phone number. And, I've had this tablet for, 4 or 5 months? And it's like all of a sudden now it's coming in. I'm not sure.
Can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
No,
Yep.
no,
Yay.
can't hear you at all.
3, 1, 2.
Oh, okay.
So the only
Especially
person...
responding though.
The only person we are missing is Anthony. He said that he is experiencing some technical difficulties. He's going to be a little bit late.
Okay.
So I will go ahead and start the spiel. Welcome to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Normally we would be streaming live from the Greenwater Guildhall, but there is a spike in COVID cases. The entire state of Oregon is now locked down again. And so we are all being socially responsible and staying the hell away from each other. It is what it is. So here we are back on Roll 20. And we will continue our stories this way for a while. They're saying it's going to be at least 4 weeks, so it's going to be until December 2nd, and so we will see what happens then. I don't necessarily know that I believe them when they say that it's only going to be 4 weeks, so I know what happened in March, so... That was supposed to be 2 weeks, and mid-June. Mid-June is when we...
March or something like that? It was supposed to be 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, like the beginning of March, it was supposed to be 2 weeks, and then, that 2 weeks lasted till like mid-June, so...
Yeah.
It was the longest 2 weeks I've ever spent. So if you're watching on Twitch, and if you scroll down, you'll see some tiles there. The first tile that we have is a GoFundMe to help the Enchanted Forest. Enchanted Forest is a fantasy-themed and fairy tale-themed amusement park just outside of Salem, Oregon. And that pandemic beginning, that 2 weeks that started in March, that lasted so long, well, it lasted a lot longer for them. They weren't unable to open for most of their operational year, and when they were able to open, it was only to extremely limited capacity. I believe they were only allowing 10 people to go through the park at a time, and they have held out for as long as they could, and they finally decided, now that their year is completely over, they've decided that they are going to have to ask for help from the community, because if they don't, the banks are gonna foreclose on the property. And so they have a GoFundMe going, and if you could give anything to them, they would greatly appreciate it. They are a fantastic place, just wonderful people. Mr. Tofty, the founder, he's in his 90s and still works at the park every single day. So they're just wonderful people. anything you can give is appreciated. The next up, we have the tile for TNC, and that is for Talon Claw. They make beautiful wooden DM screens, dice vaults, and leather dice trays, and all manner of other things. I am anxiously awaiting the arrival of some wood D&D class drink coasters that I ordered. So go ahead and check them out. And then up next we have the Speechless Bard. And the Speechless Bard, she and her husband have their own handmade gaming supplies. He generally makes dungeon terrain and that is absolutely beautiful. And she makes handmade leather covers for your core rule books, as well as an entire line of dice bracelets. A very popular one is the Pride bracelet, where every dice is a different color. So go ahead and check her out. And then last but not least, we have Fable Beard Company. They make beard products such as beard oils, balms, beard butter, and all manner of other things. And each of their scent profiles is based on a fantasy-themed character, such as the Savior or the Wolf or the Villager. Right now, they have Jack Frost, which I am actually wearing right this minute, which smells like pine, fir, cedar, and a peppermint chill. So yes, your beard will smell like a Christmas tree. What was that?
I can vouch. He smells amazing right now.
And, they have some other ones that have just come out. They've got the Klaus, who is Santa Claus. Their product, his scent profile is Christmas sugar cookies with vanilla frosting. And there is also the Gingerbread Man, which you can probably guess what that smells like. And there was another one that just came out, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. But anyways, they make fantastic products. Go ahead and check them out as well. And if you purchase something from them, go ahead and tell them that you heard about them from us. The Greenwater Guildhall. Okay, so Anthony is saying that the link does not work. He must be doing something wrong, because I know that it works. You're all here.
Yeah, it does work.
Let me try again.
I think I'm here.
I'm pretty sure you're here.
I think you're here.
I don't think so.
And
Shun the non-believer.
let's see here. I need this. And this.
Your cat is stalking you, Chris.
I don't doubt it. She's just looking for a comfy spot to sit. She can't let me out of her sight.
Yeah, you need to be supervised at all times.
Clearly. We'll give Anthony just another couple of minutes here. I don't know why he's having difficulty, but
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe Anthony's trying to load the Skype link into Discord.
Oh wait, he was trying to type the Skype link in?
I don't know. He's saying that the link's not working, and I'm like, it worked for 6 other people. I don't know. I don't know why you're having an issue, but. The first night back into Roll20, I kind of anticipated that we would have a couple of technical issues.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello?
There he is.
So I'm still getting the Roll20, but at least I got onto this, so I can hear what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's really, I actually considered just cutting Roll20 out of it entirely. But if we decide that we want to do a map or something, Roll20 does make that. That's one of the things that it does very well. So Roll20 is not working for you at all?
Well, the new link, I might try it, but if it doesn't work, because when I joined it, it said, unauthorized, or whatever. Actually, wait, I can go onto my Google and sit down.
Try, because I'm showing that you're already you don't need to be invited. That was just a link directly to the game. Just try logging into Roll20.net, because you should see the campaigns that you're in listed, and I would imagine you're probably only in one, so, and it should be this one.
Yeah, if it says, if it's in your My Games, it's not in My Games, or anywhere, actually.
Huh, well, I can send you an invitation link.
Yeah, I need an invitation link.
Okay. I can do that. That is strange, because I show Anthony C. Honestly, it could be a problem with Roll20.
Would be surprising.
No, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I got an email from them probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago that, oh, well, we're adding this new feature. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. How about instead of adding a new feature, you go back and fix the shit that was broken previously?
Yeah. Okay, so now I gotta email this to myself, which is very interesting.
So, okay. Okay, so I will just post this invitation link in Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Go ahead and try clicking on that.
Copy. No. Email to myself.
Yeah, it's really weird because I show Anthony C. That's very strange.
Yeah. I'd like to reply. Compose to myself, subject, age. Okay, you email.
I don't actually think you need to use the Roll20 link. I think you could just sign into Roll20
Well,
and then.
Well, that's what he was
Go to
saying.
your
Is that
feed.
when he signed into Roll20.net, it doesn't. The campaign doesn't show up under his games. It's really weird.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But that's okay. I mean, even if he creates a new account, that's fine. We'll just re-add him, and I'll just kick the old one out. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there he is. Like I said, Roll20 is a possibility. I don't know. We might just use Skype. The weird thing is, so like on my desktop, I don't use Skype very often on my desktop. I don't have any reason to. And so I was looking, I'm like, well, you can share screen. So, like all of us in Skype, I could have a map up and just share it, you know, which could be interesting as well. And that may, I don't know, that could potentially solve a lot of problems.
Or you can just still use Roll20, but you're the only one on there, so you can see the map, and then just share your screen, and so then we can see the Roll20 map, but we don't have to be on the Roll20.
That's possible too, right? Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. I don't know. I'll fiddle futz around with it, and I don't know. Maybe next week we just use Skype, because I'm seeing a whole lot of options here that I didn't know that I could do with Skype. I mean, I'm used to the old Skype where it was video and, you know, voice call only, and that was it. But now there's all this other stuff that you can do with it, and so yeah, maybe we don't need it at all.
Maybe.
So, anyways, now that we got that taken care of, now I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Hello, we're among ourselves. Talking.
Is one of you an imposter?
Nope, all of us are.
Womp 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 womp.
Tomorrow. Good. Yeah, the meat. Absolutely.
What did I miss? I was gone for about 20 seconds, so.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
We beat the campaign. They're so good. Yep. We're all level 20.
Oh yeah, I gotta go. That's what I was missing, my dice. Actually, I can just use the auto. Nah, I like normal dice. I have the dice tray, so.
Liam. We can hear the bird.
I'm not complaining. Yeah, birds are cool. Sounds like outside for once.
Oh, there's join Skype. I can close that. Close all of these. Oh, the camera does work on this.
You gonna use your camera, Anthony? Is that what I heard?
No, I just was wondering if it worked. Does the one on Roll20 work, though? That's the question. Huh? Can I minimize this thing? It's a bit big.
Oh yes, I was trying to get the Hammer of Thunderbolts, I remember now.
The last rolled dice on this thing was from me.
300.
So, here's something. I want you all to... I mean, there's probably not a whole lot of stuff that you guys really want. But put together a list of 3 items that you would like and for the Midwinter Day Festival, which is Christmas in Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
And I will pick one of those items as a gift to you for the holidays. Now,
That's kind of, yeah, that's
something, at this point, something to think of is you might want to think beyond, like, oh, I'm going to go through the DMG and find, you know, some item that I want. Because you guys are kind of past a lot of that. Think more like something you want crafted for you. Like a legendary, like an artifact kind of thing.
Something that when you die, other people are going to want for loot.
Right, something that when you die, other people will be willing to raid your crypt in order to steal it. Which will then potentially allow me to draw a dungeon, you know, based all around your corpse.
Huzzah! And then we can revisit it later with other characters.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So as D&D suddenly turned into a roguelike progression game.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll come back and there'll be a little icon on the map saying, this is where your body is. So where we left off, you guys had just narrowly escaped your situation on Stardock, and you have made it back to Waterdeep. You were successful in rescuing Ezria, the Githzerai Zerth that had been captured by the Githyanki, and you rescued her off of Stardock. And there was a huge battle on Stardock against an ancient red dragon that, quite honestly, somehow you guys survived. I'm still confused as to how that happened, but here you are.
Not only survived, we won.
Yeah, not only survived, you were successful in defeating an ancient red dragon. You come back to Waterdeep, and it is Liar's Night, and you had received a invitation from Laeral Silverhand to attend the Liar's Night Masquerade Ball at the Palace of Waterdeep. And it is a high society event that is also a form of charity, in that the nobles of Waterdeep generally invite a bunch of children, usually those that are less fortunate, to the palace, where they stuff them full of sweets and give them diabetes. And so, and in the course of this entire thing, everybody will be dressed in their finest masquerade costumes and the like. Oh, I forgot a book. Hold on. So unlike many of the other people at the ball, you only have a short amount of time to come up with your masquerade costumes. It could be as simple as wearing just a mask, or it could be as fancy as a full costume. So, I don't know what kind of costume a lizard folk cleric who likes to raise the dead.
Captain's coat.
You're what now?
I have a pirate captain coat and a hat.
Okay, that is quite excellent. I don't know why you don't wear that all the time.
I wear it all the time, but like, it's a costume.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I now I have this image in my head that you look like you're on the cover of a cereal box.
Yeah, I found just imagine a lizard in a captain's coat and stuff with a lightsaber.
Yes. Yeah, you have the sun sword, don't you? Or the sun blade?
Yes, I gave him the Sunblade.
Nice. Okay. Telfar, I think I already know, but what are you doing with your hat of disguise?
Oh, I think for kicks and giggles, I'll show up as Laeral Silverhand.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. I will totally roll to see how well I do on that.
Okay. Well, your performance checks will be more taking place once you're there. But I mean, the hat of disguise pretty much will do as best as it can according to your memory of her.
Yeah. And I'll put on the stilts to make myself a little bit taller and, probably pad my shirt and my butt a little bit, make it a little more ladylike.
Okay. Yeah.
Telfar will go all out. It's delightful. He wants her to enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Narate, what are your plans?
I think I'm gonna just show up in my normal armor, except I want to spruce it up with like gold silk.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that. It's not like you guys are hurting for cash.
Yeah.
Cancel. What is your plan?
I need a badly drawn mask with a smiley face.
Okay. Okay. Make sure that when you're dancing at the ball, you need to do the robot.
Keep in mind, this is the only clothing I will wear, which is one step up from my normal amount of clothing.
Heavens, your robot's junk is hanging out. What about you, Carl?
I'm going to get a Mardi Gras mask, the most extravagant one I can find that's colorful and wild, and then I'll use my glamour armor to continue the theme throughout. And I just grabbed a picture here, I'll put it up and you can see it.
Okay.
I wonder if I can post it.
You should be able to post it in Skype. If you down at the bottom, there's a chat thing, chat button, and then there is a button for add files, and then you can just pick whatever you want.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hello?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I figured out why my mic wasn't working. It's because my mic was on my head.
Yeah, that will happen.
It was talking into the air, so that's why I wasn't being heard.
There we go. There's the kind of black, white, and gold mask, and I'll make my armor continue that
Cool.
extravagant theme.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. So, Anthony, what are you going to do for your for the Masquerade Ball? Are you going to just spruce up your armor and maybe wear like a mask or what?
How do you wear a mask? My face looks so weird.
That's true. You're Dragonborn, so it might be a little difficult for you to wear a mask.
Just wear a fake mustache on the end of your face.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
I know what I'm gonna do instead. I'm gonna have robes that look like they're decorated with fire patterns. And they are like a velvety gold color.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm gonna do since I'm a light cleric.
That's a good idea.
And a mask to match it.
Okay. So
I'm
you
just gonna glamour up my armor and slap a mustache on the end of it.
Okay. So you guys show up for the Masquerade Ball, and as you enter, the valet that is ushering people into the ball announces your name and he announces the name of anybody who's coming in, and follows that up with a litany of their titles and whatnot. You guys don't really... I don't think you have any titles.
The arsonist. Yeah.
You what?
I'm an arsonist.
Yes, yeah, arsonist.
Shanish the arsonist.
You're all
It's possible for Telfar to just go ahead and sneak in and bring his invitation, in case anyone asks, but skip the whole pageantry thing.
Sure, go
Because
ahead.
it would be awkward for someone to announce Laeral Silverhand if she's
That's-
already there.
That's true. So, how do you want to go about sneaking in? Do you want to stealth your way in, or do you want to pretend to be Laeral Silverhand going in like a back door?
I think I'd like to stealth in and bring all of my accoutrements and disguise and whatever with me, and, like change in a bathroom stall or whatever,
Okay.
Get it all together, then, step out somewhere and just try to mingle.
Okay.
The goal will be to stay as far away from the actual Laeral Silverhand until the opportune moment where, the whole joke can kind of be revealed and whatever.
Okay.
It's
So,
all part of a happy little game.
okay. Go ahead and make a... Go ahead and make a performance check. And we'll see if anybody recognizes or sees through your disguise.
I got a 23.
Wow. Okay, so clearly you're doing pretty good. And nobody is the wiser. And the rest of you, as you come in, the valet announces your name, and rather than citing off a bunch of titles, he announces you as owners of Troll Skull Manor.
Neat.
And you come in. There are bards playing music, and there are several people not really dancing but chatting. And every once in a while you see small children, anywhere from the ages of 6 to 13, meandering through the crowd of people. Most of them have been given costumes or clothes to spruce them up for the night. And you're able to mingle and hobnob with these higher-ups that are known throughout the city. Is there anything in particular that any of you would like to... Is there anyone in particular or any issue that you would like to bring up with council members or anything of the like?
We should definitely bring up airspace regulations that might go against our dock that we're putting in place. So we need to find some good high-level political.
You're gonna have to go talk to the FFA.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So Aaron meanders through the crowd, and you find a group of what you are assuming, because remember it's Liar's Night and everybody's in costume. You're assuming that these are lords of some type. You wouldn't know who is a masked lord and who isn't, mostly because you don't know who the masked lords really are, which is why they're masked lords. But all of these people seem like they're nobles, and are, at the very least, they're guild members of the various guilds. And you start to chat with a rather stout woman wearing a feathered cat's eye style mask, and she's wearing full plate armor. Make an insight check. Wow, 30. Jesus. Okay.
Jiminy.
Yeah. Her costume does not in any way surprise you. You immediately know that this woman is Savra Bellabranta. And Savra Bellabranta is the commander of the Griffin Knights, who, being Griffin riders, they spend a lot of time in the airspace. And you are chatting to her and with the guildmaster of Griffins, airships, and hot air balloons.
Nice.
And so you can go ahead and present your case, or perhaps let them in on what it is that you and Troll Skull Manor is in the process of doing, and see if there's any
looking for snags or opportunities.
Right. Make an investigation check. Oh.
I've got some leveling up to do to my Roll20 character.
Right, yeah. Yep, been a while. So your investigation, you don't really, there aren't too many laws or regulations that would get in your way. The one thing that you do learn, which is very important, is just like everything else that takes place in Waterdeep, you'll need to throw some coin towards the Guild of Griffin Riders, airships, and hot air balloons, simply because nothing happens unless the guilds get their fair share.
Of course.
Typical union type of stuff.
Okay, so I'll identify the people that are involved and find out about, where the money needs to go, whose palms need to be greased, all that jazz. I'm not going to hand over sacks of gold at the Liar's Ball.
Okay.
But finding out is good.
Right. Yeah, so you spend some time in conversation with these fellows, and you find out, who this money needs to go to, who you need to talk to, what forms. Of course, there's forms. Everything has to be filled out in triplicate. You find out what all needs to be done, and you end up moving towards making that happen. Narte and Anthony, you are moving through the crowd, and you you end up meeting up with, not meeting up. You end up overhearing a number of lords chatting about people that have gone missing recently. And this seems to be a something that has been going on for at least almost a month now. These people started going missing in the middle of Marpanoth, at least, and now the beginning of Marpanoth, and now being the last night of Marpanoth, with Uktar the First being tomorrow. You hear that there's a number of people that have gone missing, and they aren't really. This conversation between these knights and nobles is they're not really paying attention that you're even there. And one of the knights turns around and sees the two of you standing there, and he says, "Oh, well, heavens! It's been a while since we've seen the likes of you about. I hear that you've been traveling down into Undermountain. How fares your adventures?"
They do fare well, my good sir.
They've been
Over.
pretty decent.
I couldn't help but overhear that you were speaking of missing persons.
Oh, quite right. Yes, it seems that there's some kind of tomscullery afoot. There have been a number of incidences of people missing, and not just anybody. I mean, if they were, just the standard scullions that you find walking around at night, then, that would be one thing. You'd never hear another word about it. People disappear in Waterdeep, especially around the docks, all the time. But these are lords and nobles. One of them was a knight.
It's maybe worth looking into, Shamish.
What's the name of this guy again?
I don't know.
I'm back.
But he's one of the riders or something?
He's a lord.
Concerned Noble, that's his name. Concerned Noble.
Yes, Concerned Noble. Yes, that's his name.
Got it.
He had an exclamation mark over his head.
Yeah.
One of the knights turns to Shamish, and he says, Shamish, perhaps you and Narte would like to take part in the jousting tournaments that will be happening next week.
Totally.
I was actually about to get to that. Yes, we probably shall.
Hold on here.
I might break the stick, or whatever the hell you use with jousting.
The stick, a lance. You
Break the stick.
The stick.
Well, I can see that you clearly know your way around a jousting tournament.
Lols. Yeah.
Totally, yeah, totally.
Is it cheating if I don't use a horse?
Oh, well, technically you can't joust without a horse.
I see. Very well.
Hold on here, I'm looking this up. Oh my god, why is this?
Well, if we need a horse, I'll just summon my...
Right, yeah, you can summon your mount.
I was going to use my polar bear.
Yeah, you could do that.
Or I could have bought an elephant.
Hold on.
It'd be hard to joust from elephant top.
Let's
Yes,
see,
I
yeah.
would just stab downward. Or just have it use its tusks.
That doesn't sound sporting.
Sorry. I know I posted this. Now I have to find it. Holiday. Here we go. So, yeah, he invites you both to the Five Feathers event, which takes place on Uktar 9 through 12, and it is a 4-day fair and sporting event that takes place on the Fields of Triumph. And the Five Feathers hosts a handful of events such as archery, hawking competitions, and equestrian events. Not all of it is jousting, of course, but jousting is the big draw. But some of the other equestrian events would be like barrel racing and things like that. Mostly for showing off, how well people are at training horses and showing what they're capable of. And so he invites you to that. Of course, is a 10-day away from your current date.
Yeah.
So Thrick and Cancel. I keep seeing Mittens on the screen, and I keep having to remind myself that it's Cancel. Mittens is your old character. You are wandering through, and you run into a group of town watchmen that are drinking apple cider and standing next to the fire. They've been given the night off, and like many, were invited as well. City Watch being what they are, they don't ever really let their guard down. They don't ever stop being City Watch. So, I mean, they give themselves away. Even if they were wearing masks, you'd still know that they're City Watchmen. And they're discussing an increase in Zentrim activity. And it seems that there is an internal schism going on with the Zentrim in the city, and that a number of them have been found dead. They are saying that, or one of them is saying that a known Zent operative, well-known Zent operative, well-known to the City Watch, was found floating face down in Deepwater Bay this morning.
Ooh. Isn't Anthony one of the Zentrim?
No. Anthony, or Shamish is a, if I remember correctly, you are with either Lord's Alliance or the Order of the Gauntlet. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're one of the Greyhands.
Wasn't it Landon who joined the gang?
Yes,
Yeah.
Landon was a
Remember
Zentrim operative. I mean,
Right.
of course he was, right?
Right.
Who shot himself?
Mm-hmm. After burning the other inn down.
Just why did he do that?
I like how
I mean, I
like
guess
how Liam's sitting there like, oh, it hurts.
competition, but
Don't question Landon. He doesn't think.
Clearly. So, yeah, they're talking about how there's some kind of internal strife going on with the Zhentarim. About this time, Telfar, dressed quite perfectly as Laeral Silverhand, you come around. There's a darkened side room with just a huge fireplace, and the fireplace is big enough that Shamish could stand in the hearth without bending over. That's how big this fireplace is. And there's a big roaring fire, and there are a group of children sitting around the fire, and they're kind of telling spooky Liar's Night stories. And the first child, he's a portly little dark-skinned boy, and it says, "No, I saw it. I saw it with my own 2 eyes, I swear it." "Oh, you're as full of shite as you are of sweets." "No, I tell it true. In 1379, there were a bunch of disappearances and murders on the streets of Waterdeep. That was the year of the Lost Keep. Lady Gondifrey, an incorruptible paladin of the City Watch, was sent to investigate, and she discovered that a wizard named Delark was responsible. She darkened his doorstep, she did." Everyone knows that story. What's it got to do with a noble gargoyle? But that's just it. The gargoyle is Lady Gondifrey. Delark captured her and did a terrible experiment, fusing her soul with a gargoyle. She told me herself. Oh, Roth shit. Where did you meet this gargoyle paladin? Shh, let him finish. I snuck into Kolat Towers, to get out of the wind and rain. That's impossible. Shh. I dug a hole to get under the barrier. I'll never do that again. 'Tis an evil place. The gargoyle was a prisoner there. I tried to tell the watch, but they told me to bugger off. At about that time, the real Lady Silverhand steps in and bends over with a tray of candied apples with stems sticking out of them. And she says, "Who wants candied apples?" And she turns and glances at Telfar, and she just winks.
Well, Telfar goes, ooh, I want one, so that all the kids turn and look.
The fat kid that was telling the story turns and goes, "Oh, I can't tell which one of you is real." And Laeral Silverhand looks at him and says, "Yeah, neither can I."
Telfar does a very dainty little curtsy and then a backflip, and in midair whips off the mask and lands on one stilt, balancing with the other foot way out, and is revealed to be who he really is.
All the kids start to clap, and Laeral Silverhand says, "That's quite impressive, Telfar Thornfoot."
At your service, m'lady.
She says, I trust that you've been doing well since our last meeting in the back alleys of the Docks Ward.
I can't say I can complain. I can't say I can complain at all. Wonderfully nice of you, and generous and charming to invite us to the Liar's Ball. To what do we owe the pleasure as mere tavern keepers?
only mere tavern keepers.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, 15 plus 1 plus a 9. 25.
Wow. You notice on a thin silver chain around her neck, there is a pendant that looks vaguely like a octopus. And in the center of the top of the pendant, where the octopus's bulbous body would be, you see the pearl of Kraken summoning around her neck.
Kinda want that.
Quite the admirer you've got. And with means, too, I might say. It's a lovely pendant you have there.
She blushes a bit and turns, she says, yes, Jarl Axel is an old acquaintance. She says, she draws you aside towards further away as the children sit there eating their candied apples, and she says, the disappearances that have been taking place in Waterdeep concern me. I would believe that they should probably concern you as well.
No more customers.
Naturally, my lord, naturally. When Waterdeep prospers, we all prosper.
Oh, most definitely. But I would think that it would be more of a concern even than that. These are not low-born citizens that are disappearing. And then add to that not only are, I mean, the people that have been disappearing, they're not high-level nobles, but they're nobles nonetheless. And
They're just rich people.
they're rich people. And add to that this whole infighting and schism with the Zentarim. I find this to be very concerning. I believe that they're both connected.
I see.
Naturally.
What is it that makes you think that they are related?
She says, well, I have little birds throughout the city that tell me things. And I just doing the math, and my gut feeling is that they are related.
Well, I'm sure that my comrades and I would be happy to look into it for you. Any chance we get to do a favor for the Laeral Silverhand is quite an honor indeed.
Is it?
She smiles and does a small curtsy to you. She says, I thank you, Telfar.
And he exactly mimics her curtsy on his stilts.
That makes her chuckle a bit. And she says, I must get to the other guests, but please keep me apprised of the situation. I believe that you are familiar with paper birds?
Indeed. I'd be happy to be another one of your little birds.
And she smiles and works her way elegantly back into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So, what
I
would
think
you guys...
Telfar will probably take off his stilts and, squeeze him back down to just a foot long and tuck him into his boots and pull his boots up to hide the stilts and, adjust his hat and start, being a party guest. Probably
Okay.
go eat and drink a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there is more food than you could possibly imagine. There's entire tables that could easily seat 15, 16 people, and there isn't barely an inch of space open on the table because it is just completely filled with platters of food. There's roasted duck and elk and rathe and
Happy to tug into that food, and he is not too good to steal some silverware and nice plates and stuff.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
I get plus 11 to those. So that is 25.
Okay. So you have a pockets full of silverware and a couple of plates and a lead crystal glass with a gold rim and...
Yeah, totally.
you're walking around.
Or anything. I don't want it like falling out of my shirt or down a pant leg or anything like that. But just casually, he can't help himself. It's shiny and it just ends up in his pockets a little bit.
Yeah, and then we can put it on our floating boat thing or whatever.
Yeah, your airship.
Yeah.
So Telfer kind of meets up with the rest of you, and you've all got your own little clique going on in the middle of the ball. Telfar is jangling a bit as he walks up to you, and he's carrying. He's just drinking spiced apple cider directly from a crystal decanter. He's not even bothering with a glass.
Absolutely.
Do you want to let them in on your discussion?
Yeah. Telfer's basically gonna be like, well, I'm sure you guys have been working the room. I've been working the room too. Sounds like there's some kidnappings in the center room are up to no good. What do you guys know?
Oh, I met some folks that might be politically useful and learned some things about getting our airship qualified and maybe some opportunities.
We signed
But it
up
sounds-
for the jousting tournament.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we learned. I thought it was something else.
Thrick and Cancel, another discussion that you've heard is that there were a couple of nobles discussing the terrible business going on down south in Daggerford. Apparently, Lady Morwen Duchess Lady Morwen Daggerford has apparently seized all property and assets of a company that is based out of Daggerford called Greenwater Mercantile and Adventuring Company. And her accusations are that one or possibly more of the owners are in league with devils and are known to be traveling with agents of Tiamat.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So this is a bit shocking, as Daggerford generally is a fairly quiet, sleepy town. I mean, there's been a couple of incidences over the last 200 years. I mean, there was the whole death of Duke Daggerford, who was Morwen's brother. But, and oddly enough, they believe he was killed by a devil in his own throne room. And upon his death, Morwen took power, and the whole event was sullied by the fact that he had some outsider who was advising him and being accused of being a witch. And oddly enough, she had disappeared. But really, that is the only real event that has happened of any major consequence in Daggerford in 200 years. So this is shocking to say the least.
And what is the source?
How can you become accused of being a witch in Dungeons and Dragons with wizards and sorcerers and warlocks?
Well, it was a notable event. There were a number of things that this woman was accused of: bewitching the Duke, spreading lies about him. There were stories of her basically causing problems with other townspeople around Daggerford. She was no good. And all of this took place shortly after they had discovered that there was a red wizard of Thay operating in the town of Daggerford, and they had captured this red wizard, cut off his fingers and sewed his mouth shut, and then hung him.
Oh,
Sounds fair.
Yeah.
Seems a bit extreme.
So what is the source of all of this Daggerford information again?
That this noble was actually expecting a trade shipment from Greenwater, and it was delayed, and so he had sent his manservant south to discover what the delay was, only to discover that Greenwater's assets had been seized by the order of the Duchess.
Sounds like definitely something that should be followed up on and make sure that this isn't Liar's Night garbage or that we're being played.
Yeah.
that would kind of be annoying.
That is true.
Getting played is extremely deniable tonight of all nights
Can I
Right?
roll insight
to get
on
us
this-
to go do stuff. So
on what they said?
I'm sorry?
Can I roll insight on what they said?
Sure. In fact, you can roll insight with advantage.
Thank God.
So that lets you, with an 18, you realize that there was something that Telfar had told the rest of you. She had traveled south to Daggerford not long ago, before you had gone down into the Crystal Caverns, and that it was very tense down there.
Oh, didn't I also go? Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I went too.
Yeah, I think it was Shamish and Telfar. The two of you, things down there were very tense.
Oh yeah, that's right. They went down there and there was like a whore or something.
They were trying to look for information on a devil named Pencheska. And nobody knew anything about a Pencheska, but everything in that town was just exceptionally tense.
messed up.
Much stress.
Much stress.
And so, Telfar, remind me again, why are we here? We were invited to come here by, was it?
Laeral Silverhand.
Well, we're just hanging out then, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I already talked to her.
Yeah. So we're good. We just need to eat lots and lots of fried stuff and
So are most of the children orphans?
Most of them, yes.
How
They
many
have-
orphans are there?
Oh, many.
Shut that door.
When I say many, there's probably 20 kids in here.
Oh.
Oh, God.
And it's
I mean,
It's about-
children.
it's about that time where you're looking around counting children because you're hungry and they go good on the grill. Where the fat little dark-skinned boy comes up and he tugs on one of Cancel's arm, or on his arm, and Cancel, you turn around and he says, I am under the impression that you're a group of great heroes.
Yes.
No
That is
one
That's
heard
the wrong
of
impression then.
that is
Correct. That's what we actually are.
Liam, you should do what someone in my other campaign did and just create a gang out of the orphans.
Oh yeah,
Nobody's gonna hang orphans.
Maybe later.
Yeah, that is true.
I want Telfar to do some sleight of hand and pull a silver coin out of the kid's ear.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
And the kid is scared.
The kid is scared.
He
I
screams black magic and runs
A
away.
32.
Wow. His eyes get big, and he says, "Oh, you're magic users too."
Yeah, really.
Don't buy it for a second.
Gives
I got-
him the silver coin, winks at him, and says, "No, we're just tavern owners."
Yeah. I could tell you, watching these kids roam around here, that they're all at least level 1 rogues.
You'd
At
be
least.
surprised. Some of them are better than level 1.
Yes.
He says, he looks at Cancel and he says, well, the watch captains won't listen to me. They don't believe me. But Lady Gondorfrey needs help.
Yes, we heard what you were talking about earlier.
We'll check it out, kid. Don't worry about it. Leave
What
it
do
to
you-
the pros. The
what
professionals.
do you know about it?
He says, he snuck into a building. Let me find
That's against the rules, little boy.
it. Yeah.
Thief,
Turn him into the
thief,
guards.
He broke into a building. Put him in jail.
Yeah, he admits to breaking and entering.
Orphans are like sugar ants. They show up everywhere.
Oh god, no.
They're like rats. They just, no matter how much arsenic you feed them, they just keep showing up.
That's
They're
why
there,
people,
they're not there.
you always want to keep a broom handy so you can sweep them out the door.
He says that he was in the North Ward, and it was raining, and it was windy, and he wanted to get out. And, I mean, everybody knows about Kolat Towers. I mean, but here's a little secret. You can't just sneak into the towers because there's an invisible force field around them.
Yes, we know of those.
But he says, I found there was a
Invisible
loose
force
cobblestone.
fields.
There was a loose cobblestone in the street, and so I lifted it out, and I dug a bit, and if you dig down about 2 feet, you can crawl under the force field.
Yeah, but that's like a little kid. We'd have to dig like a giant
alright.
ass.
Just Neurotas
Speak for
to
yourself.
hit it once with his pick, and that's it.
We've got a polar bear. It can dig.
Cancel. Make a Arcana check.
Or just destroy the magic wall. That might work.
This sounds interesting. I'm getting tired of all this fatty fried food.
How could you?
Well, I've only had 6 beers so far, and just that's it. I want to go do
Only
something else.
6, I've had 14.
I've had 15.
Uh-huh.
You haven't.
Well, I can still walk a straight line, but I want to go do something reckless and stupid.
The dwarf's pissed because there's no malt liquor around.
Yeah.
Reckless and
Where's
stupid.
the expensive stuff?
19.
Malt liquor is not the expensive stuff.
Matt
Like
2020.
The opposite.
Oh God, MD 2020, the finest of wines.
Yes.
Comes with its own brown paper sack.
Ugh. I remember the first time I tried MD 2020, somebody was like, "Oh, dude, mix it with some 7-Up. That'll make it better." Doesn't make it better.
Oh my god!
It does not make it better. It doesn't make it worse.
The trick is to just keep your nose closed and swallow quickly.
Right? Yeah. Every time I drink Steel Reserve, I tell people it's Dwarven Ale. In Germany, they call it a high-gravity lager. I don't know what gravity has to do with it. If you drink 2 or 3 40s of it, gravity's going to take effect, but
High gravity means it's the shit that falls to the bottom of the fermentation tank. That's where malt liquor comes from. It's the
Right.
shit on the bottom.
It's a
After
bottom
all
feed.
the beer has been scooped out.
It's the carp of beers.
Yes. High volume means it's the bottom stuff.
Yep. It didn't sell as well when they called it beer silt, but when
Right.
they called it malt liquor. It was okay.
Yeah. Gross. It's all in your choice of phrasing, you know?
That's why marketing people get paid the big bucks. So, Cancel, what'd you get for your Arcana check?
19.
You know that if this is true, that if there is such a force field around it, you know that a disintegrate spell or even a successful dispel magic could open a section of this force field that would last for a minute.
That's decent.
That's good enough for me. Let's go.
I love it. So reckless.
Staggering down the streets. Yeah, baby, this'll be fun.
Look at
So-
the 6 beer elf.
So the question then, of course, is, so what do you want to tell this boy?
So
Lead
first,
on.
I'm going to give him a pouch of 20 platinum, and then say, give one
Wow.
to your friends.
I'm gonna get that kid killed? What's the matter with you?
So what are you going to tell him?
Give one to each of your friends.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, totally.
So you give him this pouch, and he opens it up and looks inside, and looks back at you, then looks inside the pouch, and looks back at you, and it looks like his eyes are about ready to fall out of his head.
And he is
You're gonna kill
gone.
him.
He's gonna die from excitement.
He can't spend that. Can you imagine a little orphan show up with and go, yeah, I'd like a gumball. Here's a platinum.
Yeah, can you break this?
Can we change?
I mean, you basically gave them enough. You just gave him enough money that he and his 2 best friends will be able to eat for like the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Good. I want him to be able to eat. I don't like people starving.
So Aaron will see this and he'll sober up just long enough to go, son, here, let's exchange that. That's just going to get you killed. We got lots and lots of copper pieces.
Yeah, that's true.
Give him this giant sack.
Just give
So
him
we
like
left
a
this whole
400
pile of
pound
copper
bag of
back
copper.
over at the temple.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to the whole-
No, I gave him the platinum on purpose for effect.
Well, the effect is going to kill him. If you want to kill him, we can just do it right here.
We're not gonna kill him.
I have.
Like, get a little, like, shack, and then...
I thought we were gonna open up a soup kitchen.
Mmm, soup.
I don't know. I thought we were.
Everybody likes orphan soup.
Sad kids now.
Wait, I thought I didn't know we were opening a soup kitchen.
I mean, if you season it right, orphan soup tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Well, tell
Whoever asks for seconds gets to go into the back room, and then they're never seen again. But the next day, there's always little chunks of meat in the soup.
Mm-hmm. The soup kitchen of Seville. I like it.
No, it's not what I had in mind.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, we got to do something to recruit another devil to the tavern. Orphans might work.
Orphan soup. Yeah, that'll sell.
So, do you want to continue to hobnob around here, or do you want to?
I'm getting this kid and saying, lead me to the force field.
Okay. So what about the rest of you?
Adventure awaits.
Well, if Telfar sees that his friends are getting ready to leave, he's probably going to lick all the sauce off of his fingers and wave at Laeral Silverhand from across the room, yelling way too obnoxiously loud, "Hey, thanks again for the party!"
Yep.
Okay.
Pulled out
I
my
don't know
little
them.
sword
They're
and
just serving.
stick it up in the air and go, "Tally ho! Adventure awaits!" at the top of my lungs while we go staggering down the street.
So,
Yes!
I'm just stuffing my face full of meat on the way out.
Sticking it in your pockets. All.
Yeah.
I'm just spitting and shoving stuff in my mouth.
and just for a liar's night trick, you resurrect the chicken that's on the table. There's now
Man.
a chicken skeleton dancing on the banquet table.
Yeah, right.
No, you should resurrect the chicken as a skeleton.
If it's a roast chicken, would it be a skeleton or a zombie? I guess it depends on how much of it's been
Really
eaten.
crispy zombie. Really
Right?
crispy zombie.
No, it'd just be food.
Did you get to watch the Darkness Rising, Chris?
No, and
Okay.
it's funny because it's funny because that came up last night. We almost watched that.
Yeah, what you said, there was a scene where the insanely murder hobo sorcerer just blows up a chicken, and then the corpse is cooked, and then it gets resurrected, and this boneless chicken thingy is stomping around killing people. Anyway, okay, yeah.
No, instead for movie and mini night, we watched Dungeons and Dragons and Dungeons and Dragons: Wrath of the Dragon God, which arguably is the better of the two movies.
I'm not arguing about it.
The first Dungeons and Dragons is so bad that it's actually amusing.
Yeah.
The dwarf that's crying because he's been made to ride a horse. A lot of dwarves are afraid to show their feelings, but I'm not, okay?
Snails.
Yeah, I was just thinking snails. So, you guys head out from the Palace of Waterdeep, and you are heading down the streets, and the light drizzle has pretty much turned into a downpour of rain, and the wind has picked up heavily. And you know that this is the time of year in Waterdeep where winds and rains are common. The wind coming in off of the coast or off of the ocean is very bitter cold. And you can tell that it's not going to be too long before the biting hand of winter is fully upon Waterdeep, which is a bit of a concern, considering that when winter enters Waterdeep, literally most of Deepwater Bay freezes over. The snow, they do the best that they can to keep most of the roads clear of the snow and ice, but for the most part, the city locks down. Many of the nobles, preferring to not deal with that, are usually in the process of leaving the city now. A lot of them have, villas and summer or winter residences elsewhere in warmer climates. Some of them even travel as far south as Kalimshan to escape the winter. So the city kind of comes to a complete standstill, and those that are left, there's usually a large holiday season, because what else are you going to do except drink and carouse when you can't go anywhere, right? But all trade stops because the ships can't come in and out. And you can, walking down the street in this rain, you can see that this is going to be, the winter of 1492 is going to be particularly harsh.
Yeah.
You get to the southern ward, Everybody make perception checks.
Perception.
Not 20.
Wow.
Wow.
12.
18.
What are we rolling?
Perception?
Perception.
19.
Okay. So,
4.
wow. Okay. So, Thrick and Narte, you immediately notice laying on the when you come into the southern ward, you see the Kolat towers, and they are a pair of towers that are connected to one another at various points. There's a walkway that goes between the two towers. The towers have been abandoned for many years, but you can see light coming out of the windows. Many people have rumored that you've heard a lot of rumors that there's continual light spells that were cast inside, that the towers were the property of two eccentric wizards who were brothers. You've heard life stirs in the towers again. You've heard all sorts of stories, but indeed you can see that there is light coming out of the windows of these towers. And Narte and Thrick, you coming up to the towers, or coming up to the property of the towers, you immediately notice on the ground that there is a dead bird. And it appears that its neck is broken.
Well, we should speak with the dead and find out what horrible thing happened to this poor little bird.
That doesn't
I'm
seem...
gonna cast Speak with Dead on the bird.
That's kind of dumb, but okay.
Hit a window.
Well,
I'm gonna see if
and
I'm gonna
Tofar,
Cancel this game.
Tofar and Aaron and Shamish, you find a couple of other birds. All of them with broken necks.
It's a bird massacre.
It's hunting season. It's duck season, or bird season. It's a bird, duck's a bird, so it's duck season.
So Thrick, make a medicine check.
Yeah, heal it.
22.
So it appears like a bird that had flown into a closed window.
Oh, so nothing important.
Of course, poor little birds. There's like some sort of horrible serial bird killer in the premises. We must find this fiend.
It's a mimic that disguises itself as a window.
Yeah, that totally works.
Whoops.
I stagger over and slam into whatever that force field is.
So, and you do that. You walk up, and you bang your fist drunkenly, and indeed there is an invisible force field.
I'm not drunk. Narote's not drunk. He's a dwarf.
Right.
I'm like half drunk.
After
A
15.
little drunk.
Just a little.
Remember, buzzed
So, like,
adventuring
I'm, like,
is still drunk
conscious.
adventuring.
And mostly aware, but I'm a bit
You start
stupid when I talk.
mumbling to yourself and sometimes almost tripping.
Yeah.
Other than role playing, this isn't going to affect the game at all because we always act this way.
Right, yeah. No, we're always drunk. We're used to this.
That's how we make the stupid decisions that we do time after time.
Tally-ho!
So,
Sure, I guess I'll use one of my spell slots to revivify the bird.
Okay.
yay!
Yay, the bird's alive! It's a pretty low level spell slot, so it doesn't really matter too much.
So
Throw it up in the air and it turns around and flies into the force field and breaks its neck again.
Oh my god!
you revivify the bird.
Animals.
So you revivify the bird, and its neck makes a sickening crunch and turns the head around the right way, and it tweets and flies off.
Yay!
It's gonna have one heck of a story to tell.
Yay! Tell Forest Tales, that one time Naruto revivified a bird for no reason.
It turns out that when you died, that one event tipped the scales in your favor.
Right? Yeah. That's what'll make your heart heavier than the feather, and balance everything out.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm like, oh, poor little bird.
So yeah, so Aaron beats his fist, and you go bow, bow, on this invisible force field.
Then he pulls out his drumsticks and then starts playing the force field.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We start playing that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, that's pretty cool.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we should open up a way so we can get in.
So, like I said, Cancel, you know that a disintegrate spell or a dispel magic will work.
Aaron starts trying to lift cobblestones.
I was gonna cast spell magic.
Okay. You need to make a successful DC 19 check with your spellcasting ability.
No, it's nothing. Die fell off the table.
On these internet type games, you're supposed to throw the dice and let it rattle and then say nat 20.
Right?
Yeah, you just say whatever's above the required roll.
Yeah.
18.
So, you cast a spell of magic, and you can see that a 10-foot square section is now glowing blue, but it is not opened.
Does it bong differently?
No.
Oh.
Let's try that again, then.
I think I have some spells.
17.
Wow. So let's see.
So using the tip of my sword, I've pried one cobblestone out of the ground.
So, right.
There's another one beneath it.
You successfully, so Aaron has successfully pried up a cobblestone, or actually two cobblestones, and there is sandy, loose dirt under these cobblestones that if you would like, and you can see where the dirt from under these cobblestones, it goes up against this invisible force field.
And I start jamming my sword into the sand and using it like a really horrible shovel.
Yeah, Naruto's just gonna pull out his digging tools and just start digging right next to Aaron and just making a ton more progress way faster.
Okay.
I'm also gonna try, but with my hands, and just like really fast though.
Like a
See who
dog.
can get there first.
I'm tired. I'm gonna sit.
investigate how tall these walls
I'll use
are.
Aaron pole, and I'll just.
Zelfar wants to what?
I want to see how far up the walls go, the invisible wall goes.
So are you going to fly up using your cloak?
I want to fly up using my cloak and then use my rapier to kind of poke it and poke it and poke it on my way up. See if I can find any edges or any end to it.
So you fly up and you discover the force field is a dome over both of these towers and encompasses the entire property.
Gotcha. Then he'll fly back down and see what his friends are doing with their silly digging project.
So as you're flying back down, coming up the street, holding a lantern and is soaking wet, are two city watchmen. And they see Narte and Aaron digging into the street. And they're like, "Oi, what are you doing there? You can't be tearing up the street."
Don't worry, we'll put it back. We heard there was gold under the street.
Oh, God.
Terrible.
And now
Really?
I'm going to make a
I-
deceit check.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in the street at this point because I got tired, and there's rain and mud and disgusting effluent flowing down these streets. I don't even care.
I
So
want to do like a little Jedi mind trick and be like, nothing is going on. You can go back to what you were doing.
You're supposed to use a platinum piece when you do that.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna make a deception check.
okay, Narte, go ahead and make a
Oh,
deception
fine.
check, but you're at disadvantage.
Yeah, it's got to be worse than a 5.
I'm a help.
Oh, yeah.
I help.
Okay, so it's a regular deception check.
Well, when drunk people are helping
No,
each other, it
never
becomes
mind.
triple.
I'm just gonna give them a gold, each a platinum.
So when you said that
Keep this quiet. We'll put it back later.
We try lying. It's so bad. We just say, "Can we just give you money and you can ignore this?"
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure you don't see a bunch of stuff every day.
that's yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay.
And you get +1 for every platinum piece you throw on it.
What'd you get?
15 plus 1 for the platinum.
He says, well, we do tend to not see a lot of things.
So
We might see even less if you had another platinum piece.
Alright, just knock him out.
And you'll see enough if I don't have to pull my sword out.
Ooh, intimidation check.
Make an intimidation check.
Nat 20.
Oh,
Ha.
Yeah, Aaron got up
It's like,
and said,
hey,
"Woohoo!"
take the platinum. We're getting out of here.
he says,
I was
"Oh,
getting
well,
tired.
hey, well, we're all friends here. There's no need for a violent act." And he
Telfar
takes
got a 39 to hide, so he is not a part of this.
he takes the platinum piece from Narte and says, "Well, try to make sure you put it all back the way you found it."
All right. I'm a dwarf. I know how to dig.
You know, you think guards would, like, stop questioning what, like, level 14 people do?
Yeah.
You would think,
right?
yeah.
We don't really have. That's our whole problem. We need to get T-shirts that say level 14.
Well, for me, honestly, for the most part, aside from being involved early on, finding the vault of Dagult Neverember's embezzled goods, you haven't really done anything to draw too much of a name to yourselves. Other than the fact that you've renovated and been quite successful owning Troll Skull Manor. But everything else that you've done has pretty much been underground in Undermountain, making yourselves rich. Everybody knows that you're wealthy, but you're not really known for much.
Well, the only good thing is that right now I'm sitting in the muddy street wearing a Mardi Gras suit with a mask over my head.
Well, it's Liar's Night, so it's not even really that out of place.
Yeah.
By
Well,
the way, I'm going to send like a messenger to go to an auction and try to find whether or not there is a Belt of Giant Strength and Gauntlets of Ogre Power.
Oh,
Man, you ain't doing that in the middle of the night.
Why
Yeah,
not? We're drunk. We'd probably find somebody. We'll never find who he sent.
right. They will remember.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you can go ahead and.
Flag down a messenger and send
I-
him to
I
the
can-
auction house. And
I
like, yeah,
will-
okay, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
I will say that you probably sent the messenger before you went, as you were
Yeah.
getting ready before you went to the Masquerade Ball.
And
So-
it's gonna be a trusted messenger. It's gonna be one of our employees at the
And
manor.
So-
You're drunk to know who you said.
Thing.
So, just like the little orphan boy explained, you find that the force field does indeed only go about a foot underground. And you're able to dig under it.
So we can just swoosh our way through the wet puddle that we'd make underneath the force field.
Yeah, as you're digging, this hole is filling up with water. So you're going to be quite the filthy mess crawling under it. But after about an hour, you're able to open up a space large enough that
I can fit through.
yeah, the biggest members of your party can actually fit through. That
There's
being
4
Shamish and
drunks.
Threk.
4 other drunks have just been perched underneath the awning of a nearby business, staring at us,
Right.
egging us on, going, "Dig harder!"
Right. And so you dig this hole, and you are able to get under this invisible force field.
It's not raining in here.
Right.
Whoa.
So you get inside, and there's no wind, there's no rain, anything to speak of, and the entire towers are surrounded by a wall, and there is a singular gate that goes in. Hold on here.
Aaron's lost a lot of his drunkenness, and he's now thinking that this was really stupid.
I think we knew it was stupid even when you weren't drunk.
Okay, now there's a map. Here we go. That's much better.
So if you, I don't know if you have to scroll down. I'm trying to remember how to.
You might want to zoom out. You want to zoom.
Yeah, you're gonna want to zoom out.
You
Definitely.
just zoom out and then you right click to like move around.
So scroll down to where it says level 1.
Yep.
Telfire's gonna wait until everybody else gets gone through and underneath, and he's gonna keep his 39 stealth check and just do a little flying swan dive in and through the hole. Shwoop.
Okay. So
Classic Telfar.
So you find this gate that goes into this walled compound, and you can see inside that there is another door that leads into the main tower, and these two towers are next to one another, but they're not connected at this low a level. And you can see on the outskirts tower here, you can see no door leading into the tower itself. And of course, the door is closed.
I have Quill.
Telfire wants to do an aerial survey.
Quill's gonna dry everybody off with prestidigitation,
Okay.
and then we'll go and knock on this door,
Okay.
the K1 door. Or is there? I'm not sure what that is. The other things look kind of like windows, but I'm not sure what that. Right here. What's that?
That's another window.
That's a window.
Yes. So actually, I guess there are two doors. Or no, this is a fireplace. And this is a door. So you knock on the door, and nobody answers.
Well, we open it.
Okay. You open the door and you find that this room is there's no the fireplace is dark. There's no fire in it. There's no light sources in here, but you do see when you open the door, moonlight comes in, and you can see that there are crates stacked around the room.
Let's see what's in them.
And they all the crates bear the seal on the side of the crates of the Fellowship of Salters, Packers, and Joiners.
I'm definitely opening one of those.
Hello? Do you guys know you have a force field around you? Anybody here? Hello?
You open one of the crates, and it is packed with salted and smoked meat.
I'm sliding that into my pocket.
I'm just gonna walk around with this meat in my pocket.
I'll use it as a weapon if I need to.
I'm not. I don't think
Your pocket.
I don't think Ziploc bags exist in D&D.
Nah.
Well, we can
Just
make
throw the bag
them
up later.
with magic.
A 2-pound slab of beef jerky upside the head is a good improvised weapon.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, I go to this door and open it.
Okay.
They laugh to death of how stupid the weapon is. That's what it's for.
So you open that door going into K2, and you see that there are 3 people wearing black leather armor sitting around a stone dining table, and they are playing a game of 3 Dragon Ante, and that there are silver goblets and plates on the table, all with salted meat on them. There on the walls, you see that there are 8 moth-eaten banners that are hanging on the walls. Each bears an arcane sigil that represents a different one of the 8 schools of magic.
I'm gonna sneak.
Well, Aaron opens the door, and
So I'm gonna say hello, friends.
all 3 of these people look up. There's a female Kalashite, and there are 2 male that are sitting there playing 3 Dragon Ante, and she looks up. She says, "Hey, who are you, and what are you doing here?"
Hello, friends. Did you know that you have a force field around your whole 2 towers here?
Well, of course we have a force field. So I'm assuming that you must be fellow agents.
Yes, of course.
Well, hang on a second. Let me get, okay, just a second. Let me do a 4. No.
Neuro's just gonna go over.
We were
I try to cover
five.
mouth before he speaks.
We were just enjoying Liar's Night, and we found this force field, and it looked really interesting.
So, Shamish, make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, this is. I'm just rolling lucky today. That's my second nat 20.
Now,
Nice.
see, Anthony knows how you do these internet games.
Yeah. He's great at them.
No, seriously, I rolled a different dice because, if I roll the same dice that with really good luck the first time, it's horrible the next time. I rolled a 20.
So as Aaron starts to say, like, we just found this force field, and Shamish comes up and puts a hand over his mouth. What do you say, Shamish?
Yeah, Neurote is just gonna go over to the table and just bring out his 3 Dragon Ante cards and just set down his bet of 10 gold.
Oh, we got a high stakes player here, huh?
Oh, that's high stakes, really?
Okay, here's 5 platinum.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, Anthony.
So the 2 males are pretty rough around the edges. Like, they look like they haven't bathed in quite some time. The woman,
the
she's
best way to make friends with someone is to gamble with them and win. Or not lose to them, and they will like you more.
The woman is actually quite attractive. She's got darker skin and very almond-shaped eyes. She looks very Egyptian.
She's an almond?
No. She has almond-shaped eyes.
She's got Japanese anime eyes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're huge. There's a show that my wife likes to watch on I think it's on either Hulu or Netflix called Sweet Bitter, and the lead actress on there looks like her eyes are enormous. She looks like an anime character. I mean, she's very pretty.
Oh my gosh, she does! Holy shit!
See what I mean? She looks like, when I first saw her, I was like, is that the actress that they based Alita Battle Angel on? Because that's what she looks like. I mean, she's very pretty, but I was like, wow, her eyes are huge.
Yeah, they are humongous. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I cannot. If I look at it too long, I freak out. I don't want
Is that Ella Purnell? Let's see.
Maybe,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see a couple of. Okay. Oh my goodness, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, they're enormous. I was like, are they messing with me? Like, did they airbrush that? Why are her eyes so big? Like I said, she's very pretty. It's just her eyes are enormous. It kind of freaks me out.
Well, maybe she's got like a 3'11" frame and
Yeah.
like that little baby head thing going.
Right, yeah. She is kind of short, and her head's really big, and her eyes are just huge. Like she's part schwa alien.
I bet if you took them out, they'd be like the size of gumballs.
So we're having the equivalent of this conversation, except talking about somebody at the party. And all these people are sitting there playing poker, looking at these strange folks that are dressed in Mardi Gras costumes that have just barged in.
So the two males are sitting there, and they match Narute's bet, and he says, "Deal."
Okay.
Be cocky. Be cocky.
I'll just roll
I'll get
d20.
money tonight.
So make a That's a really good question.
Well, you won't have proficiency because.
Well, I would say that since it's 3 Dragon Ante, which is a lot like poker, I would say make a deception check because you want to bluff.
No, but I want to have a good run and then have the stakes get higher and higher and then lose to them so that they like me more.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't you spread your religion yet? It's been a whole.
Yeah, why aren't you proselytizing? So yeah, go ahead and make a deception check versus their insight check. Ooh. These guys are pretty good 3 Dragon Ante players, so you're going to have to beat a DC 16 with your deception.
No?
Does a 7 beat a 16?
So these guys are on to you, and after the first hand of 3 Dragon Ante, he says, "Hey, why'd you let us win?"
What are you talking about? No, of course I didn't.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't believe that. I'm pretty dumb.
Are you bad?
And I roll, and I don't roll, but I try to lie to them again.
Okay. So before you can even have to say anything, the woman.
That's a total of 16.
Okay. So before you really get to say anything, the woman who has introduced herself as Sidra Romer. Sidra says, well, of course he let you win. He's trying to make friends. These are new mercenaries.
Yes.
She says, I'm sure that Manifret knows all about them being hired, or, perhaps, and she says, perhaps, if Manifret doesn't know, maybe, maybe Manchun didn't want anybody to know that he'd hired mercenaries.
Totally. I believe. Yes. That's
Did anybody catch what I just said?
We were out supposed to be getting information for him. That's why we got on our Mardi Gras costumes.
Yeah, and we got a teeny bit drunk.
And if you want to keep on playing poker and all that, he's going to get even more mad when we're late telling him what we found.
Oh, well, Sidra says, well, where do you need to go?
The moon.
We're supposed to, yeah. You know where Manfred is? Because we were supposed to meet him. And
Oh, yeah.
We're sort of late because, it was Liar's Night, and I think we got a little bit too much booze.
So she goes, yeah, no problem. And she goes over and bangs on the door leading into K3. And she opens the door. She says, Manfred, come on out here. And when she opens the door, just mouth-watering scents spill out. Clearly, this is a kitchen of some kind. And it just smells delicious. And half stepping out of the door is a halfling. And he says, yeah, I'm in the middle of prepping all this food. What can I do? And she says, do you know anything about these new mercs that have been hired?
I kind of just want to ready in action as soon as someone gets suspicious.
Wait, don't attack. I have an idea.
No, as soon as someone gets suspicious of that we might not be mercenaries, I'm attacking them.
Don't attack. I have an idea. It might not, and if it doesn't work, you can kill him.
I'm still readying that action.
Okay.
And if your plan fails,
There is no plan. What are
You
you talking
plan?
He's drunk, it's okay.
So,
As soon as he steps out the door, I'm like, hey, that's not the guy who hired us.
make a deception check with advantage.
Okay.
if this works, you deserve an inspiration point for that.
It is pretty good, yeah.
Oh my god,
So
that's
that's a
terrible.
total of
That's an imposter! God, it's just
14.
We're so doomed.
no, I'm not helping you. I'm sorry. I kind of want to kill them all. So.
You got a 17?
No, 14.
14. And he says,
What's going on here?
he says, yeah, but the dwarf is right. I didn't hire anybody. Maybe Havia knows something about this, but I don't know.
You were hired by a tiefling.
He hired us to go and talk to people at the Liar's Night party that's up there where Lady Silverhands or whatever the hell her name is.
Yeah, we were hired by a tiefling and we were told to meet here.
And we were supposed to say who we saw up there and what the rooms were.
Manifred,
You.
the halfling's named Manifred Cherryport, and he says, there's no tieflings here. I don't know of any tieflings, but I mean that doesn't mean that there isn't any that work for us. And he kind of turns, and Telfar, make a perception check.
He said his name was Manifred.
Correct.
Telfar's still outside.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to investigate the
No.
outside of this place.
That's what
Okay.
I was saying. That's what I was saying. I said to him, the tiefling said that his name was Manifred.
Oh. Well, interesting. He says, I don't know, we should probably go take him to see the boss.
Yeah. Let's see your boss. It could have been a trick, but we still want our coin.
Yeah, Manfred, we're still going to get paid, right?
Well, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't get paid. I mean, heavens.
What's going on here anyway? I mean, I thought they were smuggling some stuff or something. I didn't even care, but, 5 gold's 5 gold, but just a simple evening's worth of work.
Narate, make a perception check.
Okay. Disadvantage?
Nope.
The reason why it's so much higher than the Series X, even though like we don't have too many bad things to say about it either, is just because there is so much that you can do with the PlayStation 5 right out of the box, whereas Xbox.
What?
Someone's listening to streaming.
Oh. Streaming the streaming? It's like the Russian nesting doll of streams. You notice
12.
Manafret Cherryport is wearing a apron and his sleeves are rolled up, and you notice on his left arm there is a tattoo of a coiled snake.
Oh god, no. Not these guys again.
That's not the Zentrum thing, right?
Oh wait,
It
yeah,
is.
Those were winged snakes.
Yeah, yes, it is a coiled snake with wings.
Oh, not those guys again.
He says, well, yeah, we'll have to take him to the boss. Because I don't know anything about any tiefling.
Yeah. We were
The boss isn't a
And
team.
I thank the other dudes for the poker game.
Okay.
I want to post Telfar outside one of these windows so he can watch what's going on in there and try to track his friends inside.
So, Telfar, you fly up, and you are looking in this window up on level 2. And you can see that there are stairs that go down through the middle of this tower, but for the most part, you can't really make any sense of things here. The biggest thing that is quite odd is that when you're looking through this window, you see there's this ledge. And on this ledge there's no way to easily access the ledge, but it is 8 feet away from this landing. And you can see that there are a pair of chairs and like high-backed rolled leather chairs, and there are 2 closed chests sitting between these 2 chairs. But you can see no way of actually getting over there. Now, of course, that's no problem for you, but it is very odd that there's this ledge here with no way of accessing it.
Alright. Can I make a perception check?
So you guys are still down in K2. Manafret tells you to follow him into the kitchen, and he starts leading you up these stairs here, which leads you up
what
to here.
What is this stuff you're cooking? It's awesome.
He's like, oh, I'm just cooking dinner. If you're hungry, you can have some. And there's like this delicious savory stew in a large pot over a large cooking hearth.
We should hire him.
And there's a cast iron oven that he opens up, and he pulls out a rack of pies, and then he reaches over and opens another one, and he pulls out very fluffy biscuits that smell like they're buttered with herbs and garlic.
You know, we should hire him.
That was
Good
my
job,
idea.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Best art. He could be our main chef or whatever. Head chef.
Man, no, just 8.
I know.
No.
Hungry again.
No.
And
Hollow legs.
Food. My stomach is bottomless.
Actually, being his age and being a dragonborn, I believe that. So Manfred leads you up to K7 here. And when you come into this room, there is a burly half-orc clad in black leather armor sitting in an overstuffed chair in a northernmost corner of the room, reading a book. There's large framed pictures of cities and landscapes hanging on the walls, and a worn, blood-spattered rug covers the floor. There's a pair of rocking chairs, a couch, and an ottoman. The mouth-watering scents from downstairs continue to follow you up the stairs.
Oh, my dude. Why is there blood all over your rug?
Oh, that's just
He looks up and
my
says,
bad.
sometimes things happen. And Manfred says, Jorn, what are you reading there? And he says, and the half-orc looks up and he says, I have received a autographed copy of Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Sweet. Dude, I've been waiting for my copy for like a month.
And he keeps a finger in the section that he's reading, and he opens up the front cover, and it says, For Jorn, I hope you find the orc chapter illuminating. Signed, Volo.
Oh my god. Do you know him? Have you ever met him? The guy's a legend.
I did. I met him when I was down in Chult.
So, was he everything that I hear he is? Tell me about it.
It was a bit of a disappointment, to be honest.
No. Why? What happened? Is he short? Oh, tell me he's not short. I can't stand it when they're short.
Jorn Lindsay goes, Who are you, boy?
Oh. Well, we're mercenaries. I think we're getting played because we were hired by some guy who said his name was it? I can't remember. We got paid a little bit in advance, and I've been drinking too much. But what was it?
Manfred.
Miller? Is this guy's name right here? And it's not this guy.
Make a deception check.
I'll help him and say, yeah, we were told by this tiefling who claimed that his name was Manfred to meet inside the tower, and
That's it,
we
Manfred.
seem to have been played.
So make your deception check with advantage.
It's a 20.
Oh, nice. So you've learned the dice rolling mechanics from Anthony.
Well, I mean, I clicked a button. It's there.
That's true. That's true.
Button.
That's true. Sorry, I don't pay much attention to chat most of the time. I'm so used to hearing thud and then the dice rolling like thud, bounce, metal dice hitting a table.
Channeling.
I closed the chat.
I was channeling my army of darkness. I clicked the button.
Right. I said the words.
I said the words.
So, Jorn, you see that leaning up against the fireplace hearth in this reading room is probably the biggest greatsword you've ever seen. It's huge. It's almost as tall as Aaron is. And Aaron being an Eladrin, it's probably almost as wide as Aaron is. And Jorn says, tiefling, huh? Yeah, we had a tiefling that was working with us for a while. You remember Manfred when we were in Sigil? Says, anyways, if that's who I'm thinking it is, then he probably did hire him. Manchun's going to want to see them.
That is a huge sword. Is that your sword?
It is.
Oh my god, that thing's massive. Show me,
Yes,
pick it up. I want
it's
to
the-
see you hold it.
It's the reason why there's blood spatter on the carpet.
Ah, that makes sense.
You can carry that thing? It's as big as me.
Yeah, I want it.
So, Manifret leads you through this door, and you now can see that there's this ledge over here with 2 high-back leather chairs and a pair of closed chests. And Manifret starts to walk up these circular stairs here.
I stop at the edge because that's invisible. He's walking over the air.
Right. So when Manifret starts walking up these stairs, you see him reach into his pocket and he pulls out a gem and he holds it up to his eye and he says, "You'll want to follow my footsteps," and starts walking up through empty space up what appears to be stairs. He looks like he's walking upstairs, but there's nothing there.
I'll just like follow exactly where his footsteps are. And if I miss a few, I'll just jump to where his next footsteps will be.
Okay. Hold on here.
If I need to make an athletics check, I can definitely make it.
Yeah, make your choice, either athletics or acrobatics. Everybody who's following the stairs.
Yep.
Hang on. Alright.
Is there any way to jimmy that window open where Telfar is?
Yeah. So go ahead and make a lock-picking check.
And
Telfar, I want you to make a perception check.
Nat 20, so total of 23 for my athletics check.
Okay.
A 20...
I clear the stairs completely.
25. 25.
18.
Okay.
6.
Oh, shit.
Well, I'd have trouble walking up stairs that were invisible. You'd catch your toe on one of the edges or something.
Right. Damn it, cancel.
You always have to be the screw up.
I know, right?
How loud is it when a Warforged trips and falls down the stairs? Is that like throwing a whole bunch of pots and pans down into the basement?
I'll help cancel. I'll help.
So, Shamish, make a dexterity saving throw.
Me? Oh, okay. Dexterity. Soft 20.
So, Cancel's stepping up, catches his toe on an invisible step, and is about to fall over off the ledge down to the bottom of this tower. And you reach out and you grab him just in time. And Cancel, you look down, and at the bottom of this tower, you see that there are
many dead people.
No, you see bookshelves that are carved into the walls of this tower, and you see a bunch of books in there. And on top of these bookshelves, you see that there are 4 gargoyles statues that seem to be looking down towards the floor of Area K4, which is here. So this leads down to the bottom down here. You can also see that there is a marble table in a reading nook that appears to have a dragon chess set sitting on it. And in the middle of the room is a suit of dented plate armor that stands like it's a statue, but there's nothing holding it up.
Invisible stand. Or it's a ghost.
Or just a suit of animated armor.
Or it's a golem.
Telfar got a
Or it's a mimic.
good
It
his
might
way
just
into
be
that
an
one.
invisible stand, because he made the stairs invisible, so that means he can make other things invisible.
So, Telfar, what'd you get?
I got 32. Get into the window.
Yep, you sneak in. You are able to stealth your way into the window. And basically, the windows, at one time, this window had like lead glass in it, but all that's left is the framework. It looks like it was probably stained glass, but all that's left is the metal framework, and you're able to jimmy it open and stealth your way in.
I wanted to wait until they had kind of gotten up the stairs a little bit, though.
Yeah, they're in the process of working their way up the stairs, but make your perception check.
Soft 20.
As they start to round the top of the stairs, you swear out of the corner of your eye, one of the two chests on the landing moved.
Sweet.
And you kind of do a double take, and they just appear to be chests. Nothing is over there.
We need a mimic.
We need a mimic.
We want to kidnap a mimic.
Yeah.
Which one was it? The one on the left or right?
You're not sure. You
Right.
just saw it out of the corner. You saw movement over there out of the corner of your eye, and when you turned and looked, you just see the two chests.
Super.
To describe it better, it is a stone landing with no railings. It has so this is a stone landing with no railings that has a spiral staircase descends to cave 4, an invisible staircase with no railings hugs the wall as it climbs from the landing to area K11. Across from the landing, here, is a stone ledge protruding from the northwest wall beneath a window. A pair of identical wooden chests sits atop the ledge, and two high-backed leather-rolled chairs. There's no easy way to access the ledge. It is 8 feet away from the landing and at the same height. So this, from here to here, is equal in height.
All right.
So the rest of us are going up the stairs, the invisible stairs to this spot? Is that what?
No, you are going up to K11.
Oh, I'm sorry. K11.
So if you scroll up, you will see K11 on the left.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's hold right there for just a moment. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we will be right back. I just need to get up and stretch my legs because my ass is killing me.
So you said something about like a list and put 3 things on it and something? I didn't really hear that.
Christmas wish list for Dungeons and Dragons.
Right, it's your Christmas wish list. So put 3 things on the list that you would like for Christmas, and I will pick one of those items.